During a tense live town hall broadcast, former President Donald Trump shocked the audience when he dismissed a decorated veteran's question with a harsh insult. The veteran, Sergeant David Morales, a Purple Heart recipient, asked Trump how he would support wounded veterans returning home. Without warning, Trump scoffed and said, "You don't need a medal to be respected. Some people get awards just for getting hurt." The room went silent. Gasps echoed across the audience, and even the moderator looked stunned. Sergeant Morales stood frozen, his dignity intact but clearly wounded by the remark. Within moments, social media exploded with outrage. Veterans groups across the country condemned Trump's words, calling them disgraceful and un-American. One of the most viral responses came from a fellow veteran who stood up during the broadcast and said, "You may have never worn a uniform, sir, but we wore it so you could speak freely, even if it means insulting us. But we won't be silent." By the next morning, the backlash had spiraled out of control. Major news outlets demanded a public apology, which Trump refused, doubling down on his statement in a series of fiery posts. However, what happened next stunned everyone. Sergeant Morales was invited to speak before Congress, where he delivered a powerful speech about dignity, service, and respect. His calm but powerful words brought lawmakers from both parties to their feet. In a strange twist, the incident that was meant to humiliate Morales became a national turning point, elevating his voice and uniting people across political lines in support of veterans. Trump's insult didn't silence the hero, it amplified him. As Sergeant Morales' speech circulated nationwide, it ignited something deeper in the American conscience. Clips of his calm composure and unwavering dignity went viral, with millions sharing his words under the hashtag #RespectOurVeterans. Celebrities, military leaders, and even former presidents issued statements of support. What was meant to be a degrading moment turned into a defining message of patriotism and unity. Meanwhile, Trump's inner circle scrambled to contain the damage. Campaign advisors urged him to issue an apology or at least clarify his statement. But Trump, never one to back down, fired back during a rally in Florida, saying, "I don't owe anyone an apology. I said what everyone's thinking but is too afraid to say. We respect our troops, but we also need strength, not weakness." The crowd gave a lukewarm response. Even some of his staunchest supporters were noticeably silent. Days later, Morales was invited onto every major news network. He declined most, choosing instead to appear on a small local station where he could speak directly to veterans. There he said, "This was never about me. It's about every man and woman who wore the uniform and came home to a country that too often forgets them. We don't need applause, we need action." His words sparked a wave of policy discussions. Bipartisan lawmakers began drafting new bills aimed at improving veteran health care, mental health services, and job programs. Morales became the face, not of pity but of power. As for Trump, the moment became a blemish that even he couldn't spin away. Though he continued his campaign trail, the insult lingered, resurfacing in every debate and every question about leadership. It wasn't just a misstep. It was a window into a character trait America couldn't unsee. In the end, Sergeant Morales became more than a veteran. He became a symbol, not of victimhood but of valor. And while one man tried to tear him down with a single sentence, a nation rose up with millions more to lift him higher than he had ever stood before.